not just one side, by the way. It's not just
it's not one side.
This whole conspiracy theory, it's they that are doing it, and they're controlling and running both sides, putting on a circus show of division to fool people like you.
Well, that's not true, because QAnon, for a start, which is
fake news.
QAnon. That's what was put there to do this. Right here.
I've said the word QAnon. You haven't heard a thing that I've got to say about it. Now, can I finish my sentence?
Only one thing to say about it.
Right, no, QAnon, which has a huge following and is all anti-left wing. All of it. Occasionally, they'll chuck in a right winger who said something nasty about Trump, like Mitt Romney or someone. But the entire thing is about slagging off the left, people on the left. So don't tell me it's balanced, because that's obviously not true. There's no left wing QAnon, is there?
I just stated. I just postulated propaganda. Hold on. I just postulated 30 seconds ago that if this theory is true, it's they that are doing it, and they're playing both sides. And your response was left versus right, aka both sides. Do you want to try again?
Well, no, your initial response was, no, it's both sides. There is no sides. It's both sides. That's what you said, and that's what I was addressing. So do you want to try again? What's the left-wing version of QAnon? Oh, there isn't one, is there?
Looks like QAnon.
How about that? Well, you could say that, but we're talking about conspiracy theories that are slanderous about politicians. That's the subject. So I think QAnon is pretty relevant to that.
It's fake fucking news.
What do you mean it's fake news?
It's fake fucking news.
What, you think that no one actually believes QAnon? Somebody just made it up?
Do you believe QAnon? You think it's real?
I believe people believe it.
I believe they do, and they're fucking deceived too.
Then. So what's fake news about me saying people believe QAnon?
The part where you're fixated on the divide, on the left versus right, and you try to pick a side. That part.
Okay, what's the balanced aspect to QAnon then?
No,
give me the balance.
I didn't say the balance.
Give me the people on the left, on the right.
I'm losing you. I'm losing you. It is what it is.
Hold on, let me explain to him. The thing, it's not balanced, and he's right. But the reason is because the people on the right, majority of them are religious. They're old school. They believe in two genders. Of course, you're gonna get more fucking lefties.
And they take advantage of those guys too.
Of course, they should say their political opponents are eating babies. Of course. They're more religious.
That wasn't the topic, though. We're not talking about eating babies. We're talking about
that we are. We're talking about.
We're talking about Michelle Obama being a man.
Right, but that's just more of the same thing. That's my point. And why you idiots can't see it, it's just unbelievable.
But who's saying the Democratic Party is eating babies?
What specific evidence, apart from a few photos of nothing, what of creases in clothing, what have you got that supports this completely idiotic idea? Is it absolutely fuck all?
It's a conspiracy theory. That's what it is.
Ah, right.
He's
can't prove anything.
In other words, why should it have any evidence?
For both sides. This is the whole thing. It's all chaotic. It's all bullshit. No one's been in trouble for nothing. No one's been held accountable. It's all bullshit, dude. I keep saying that from the very beginning. It's funny that anybody really when our country's falling apart, the whole nation and world is literally falling apart.
Fox News is sorry.
Go ahead.
Fox News is they. Fox News is they. CNN is they. They pick retards to come and be mouthpieces for the non-thinking slave class to sit there and be taught how to think. Fox News is not news.
That is true.
CNN is not news. All these fucking channels, none of these are news.
Well, we agree that Fox News isn't news because they admitted that in the court.
Okay, do you have a source of news then?
Yes, I do. I gather information and I use my own discernment. Okay.
How are you able to tell what's happening? How are you able to tell How are you able to tell what's happening in Europe then by gathering?
I can't spoon feed you and teach you how to use discernment. Okay. If you don't,
no, but you could
wait, I'm
answer
not
my
done yet.
questions.
One more
You
sentence.
could
One more
answer my
sentence.
questions, and in doing so, admit that you don't have another source of news.
Okay,
What you
have
have,
two
what
options.
you have are idiots on BitChute who
No.
watch the mainstream news that you say
Stop
isn't
lying.
useful. They watch that news, and then
Stop
they make
lying.
up their own story about that news, like you have.
Stop lying. Listen, you have two choices. You could
Okay,
use
what's
your own
your other source
discernment,
of
or
news? How do you
you're not
find
gonna
out?
let me talk. It is what it is.
How do you find out about anything that's happening that isn't
Nope.
in your local area?
You're asking questions, but when I start speaking, you speak over me. So
Go ahead.
what is it
Well,
going to
see if
be?
you can. Go ahead and answer. Bet you don't.
Okay. Here's my answer. You've got two choices. You could use your own discernment, or you could pick the left and the right and be divided against your fellow
Okay,
man. Okay.
but tell me
Yeah.
the process. Tell me the process.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Using my own discernment, how do you, or using your own discernment, how do you tell what's going on in France right
That's for
now?
me to
It's
know.
judgment, though. It's judgment.
That's for me to know.
Well, you say that's for me to know, but we're a room full of adults, and we all know that there isn't. That's the way. That's for me to know. You mean you're a bullshitter who's making fucking
Jim,
shit
I'm the
up?
same. Bro, I'm the same boat with the
That hasn't
you know what?
hasn't thought through the bullshit that they're saying. That wants to slag off mainstream news channels and then go and watch idiots who have watched the mainstream news channels, and they will tell you what they want you to think about those mainstream news channels. You don't have some other news source. You don't have, and that's for me to know. You're just making shit up like everyone else. Fucking bullshitter.
No, but he's not saying he doesn't watch the news, though. What he's saying is you take what the news tells you, and then you use your judgment to see if it's fake or real.
Yeah, you watch the news and then make up your own story about it.
Hey, hold on, guy. Listen, you asked me a question. I gave you a response. You ignored it. You muted me. Then you gaslit me. Listen, you're divided, bud. It is what it is. Deal with it.
You didn't give me a response. You said that's for me to know. That's not a response.
It is. It is.
I'm not telling you. That's not a response, is it? I'm not going to give you a response. It's not a response.
You've got, for the last time, ladies and gentlemen, Gempanda has two choices. He can exercise his own discernment, or he can listen to the fake news media on both sides, believe them, and be divided against his fellow man.
You see, this is the typical attitude of these people.
It's fucking true, dude.
Always the same. We're just so much better than everybody else. When we watch the news, we use our own discernment. But when people who aren't elevated in thinking like us, i.e., the whole rest of humanity, or the sheep prowl rest of humanity, when they watch the news, they don't do what I do. No, they don't use their own discernment.
You're spiraling, bud. You're spiraling.
They just believe every single thing they're told, even the things that are contradictory. They watch Fox News and they watch MSNBC. They say totally contradictory things, and they all just believe all of it.
No, we don't believe any of it because it's all fake news. That's why you're not listening. You're not listening.
Yeah, I am listening. You think it's all bullshit.
Yes.
And you can you know this by using your own discernment.
Yeah.
Whereas me as one of the sheeple, I'm not able to use my discernment.
Yeah. No. You see, you're gaslighting yourself now. Okay. I gave you a choice.
He was sarcastic, you idiot.
Using your own discernment means making shit up. That's what you mean.
Hey, you want to mute and not listen and talk to yourself? Have at it. Go on.
Oh man, look, Jim. Hey, you remember when I was talking to you guys about the whole? You guys still probably don't believe me. Like the news didn't report anything about Hawaii the whole time. Nobody was. We don't have lasers. We don't. I mean, dude, like, what else?
I think you have to.
If you can't discern what's really going on in reality, when forest fires are called forest fires, when there's no forest and it's bathed by the grass and the own. And hold on a minute. Give me a minute here, okay? And then when the own fucking fire department doesn't help, and when the own police cut them off, and when they turn off their fucking water and their fucking phones, okay, dude? I mean, there's something going on there, and it's not reported on the fucking news, and you guys can't discern for yourself what reality is. There's a fucking problem in the disconnection there, dude.
I think the problem is that none of what you just said was true. Not a word of it. That's the problem.
Sure.
That's where using your own discernment gets you. You make shit up. Right. For the first thing you said. Right. Here is one of Hawaii's not forests, just grassland. There you go. Look, no forests. There's no forests on Hawaii. Look, no forests.
Not where it burnt down. That's not where it burnt down, Jim.
Here's another one. Look.
I don't think it's the news that's always fake, but it's the people. The issue is the narrative they push. It's the way they're explaining the news. It's the way they're explaining the news. It's not that the news. It's the way the narrative has been pushed.
Here's another not forest on Hawaii.
You're insane. Is that Maui? Maui.
Here's another not forest on Hawaii.
Silly. There's no homes there. There's no point burning that down, Jim.
Oh,
you can't land grab homes.
So you need
to get that yourself.
So there can only be a forest fire if there's homes there. Your argument was there's no forest. Now I've shown you the forest. Now I've shown you the forest. You say there's no homes.
Same thing, Jim. Hello.
No, it's not. Hello.
Yes, it is.
There's no forests on Hawaii. Is not the same as. 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 There's no homes in those pictures you just showed me. Is it?
Listen to me one more time, please. The homes that were burnt down. There's no forest there. Okay, cool guy.
Bullshit.
What's the motive then? Explain that. Why would they burn a city full of houses?
Land grab.
Because I'll tell you why, Yakushi. Because it's a major international news event. And all major news and international news events are fake. There are no real ones ever. Everything's being faked. And the only people who know about the fakery are the clever people like Glory who are using their discernment to make a story up about it. Make up a fairy tale that they like the sound of. That they've got no evidence for whatsoever. Doesn't matter who they abuse and slander in the process, as long as they get to pretend that they know secret stuff.
As long as they're pixie
dust and phantom penises, it's all good for them, Jim.
To be fair, though, you're not saying that it didn't happen. You're saying the reason it happened is different than what they're reporting, right?
It's for what now? I'm sorry.
I said you're not actually saying that the fires didn't happen. What you're saying is the reason why it happened is a different narrative that they're telling you, right? It's not natural causes, basically, is what you're saying.
It's not from natural causes at all.
Right. So, Jim, he's not saying it didn't happen. He's just saying it's not the reason they're telling you why it happened.
That's a painful idea to entertain because that's not what the news told you. So when one doesn't regularly exercise their own discernment, the opportunity of doing so scares you. Why would you use your own discernment and think for yourself when you can just turn on the fucking news on one of the divided and conquered news channels and believe one of them?
Well, because what the second one requires that I make shit up like you have done, and I don't want to make shit up.
Dude, they're not. They won't even let them go back to their homes. They haven't even paid them out yet, dude. It's been
none of that's true either. God. What's wrong with you people? This is the problem with only getting your news from bullshit sites that spread bullshit. You end up with all sorts of daft ideas knocking around in your head.
Dude, it's a fucking island. It's a goddamn fucking island and forest. I mean, what the rainforest? What the fuck?
Yeah, daft ideas like humans in general just want to live a peaceful, happy life, raise a family, have a great life. And, have time to do what we love. But the government keeps getting in the way. The ones that run your news channels and teach you how to think, they keep getting in the way, starting wars. They don't tell you about it, obviously. And it is what it is, man. Like,
Go ahead.
No, that's all. You go ahead.
Do you notice, though, your statement's contradictory? On the one hand, you tell us about all the humans, they just want to have a lovely, good life and just have a nice time. And then, still talking about the humans, you say, oh, they're lying to us and trying to kill us and all the other shit that you said. It's the same people.
In fairness, though,
It's all just people.
In fairness, though, in the 90s, when you tune into CNN and when you tune into Fox News, I'm not saying everything even then, but a lot of this stuff was actually news. Now, when you tune into these channels, it's all about shitting on the other network. You tune into Fox, they're shitting on CNN and shitting on Biden. You tune into fucking CNN, shitting on Republicans and shitting on Trump. That's all it
Fox is an entertainment channel.
Yeah,
Admitted
exactly.
it in court.
So is CNN. So is CNN.
CNN is a news source.
No,
it's a completely different legal entities.
You're gonna call one and not the other. This is why you're a fucking Mongoloid moron. Keep your mouth shut.
News is this. This and this happened.
How about you don't fucking tell me what news is and shut
Big
the
boys are
fuck up.
talking now. Shut the fuck up. Big people like
Glory,
Gem and
how
all
would you
Glory
have known? How would you have known about the Hawaii fires if you hadn't seen a mainstream news broadcast about it? How could you have told that it was happening?
Well, I think most people get their news on the internet now rather than the actual channel. Nobody really watches those channels anymore.
But even that can be a mainstream news channel. I mean, we're on the internet.
Twitter, mostly people get their news from. Twitter, Facebook.
Twitter's pretty mainstream,
all
right?
over YouTube, all over Rumble. People
think
that are personally losing their homes.
You think these secret powers that they bought out the power to put whatever news they want on every American news channel, but they forgot to get Twitter.
No, I'll tell you the difference. No, that's not what it is. The difference between Twitter and you're right. So you're basically saying if Fox and CNN were bought out, why can't Twitter? Yes, you're correct. They could be bought out too. But the difference is on Twitter, there's also a comment section where people are commenting. There's other people, like you get a news feed, and then there's other reporters like tagging that and posting the real evidence. Like there's so many conspiracies being posted. Whereas like if you're watching Fox News, no one's debating it. They're just spitting narrative and people are buying it.
Oh, but that's the difference. But but there shouldn't be a difference, should there? These secret powers that be should have bought Twitter as well and be controlling all of that. And YouTube, and BitChute, and Rumble, and TikTok.
No, but there's certain news that there's no conspiracy narrative, right? Like if someone gets into a car accident and they die, all the news stations are going to say 2 people died from a car accident. There's no narrative spinning about that. But there's certain things, it's a narrative spinning thing.
But your narrative is the reason there are no news stations doing that is because these secret evil elite have bought them all out and are controlling them. So that would also be the case with major internet sites.
Your
phone
line,
Facebook,
your phone line,
Twitter.
everyone's phone line.
But they do that. Even on Twitter, like
why is there a difference then? Why
I told you the difference is people have the ability to go comment and challenge them.
But why have they given people that ability? That's the point.
Because Twitter didn't start off as a news network. Twitter was supposed to be a place where all the celebrities and everybody else, just like Facebook, they would go post a comment of what they're doing.
Right. So when it became
right, so they can't eliminate but here's the thing. No, okay, so let me explain this to you. They can't eliminate what originally the platform was. So if they go on Twitter and they eliminate people's comments, no one's going to use the platform anymore. That's what Twitter is for.
You're also messing with people's Second Amendment.
They remove people's comments all the time. What are you on about?
No, they do.
It's a rule that we don't mention.
But they still have the ability to comment. Now, as far as what it is, if they could remove it, but they still could have commented. Whereas when you're watching Fox or CNN, no one could comment, no one could challenge. The average public cannot challenge it. They're spitting one narrative and you have to just take it. That's the difference.